you gotta loosen me up.
Lois Banks.
Montague Lamont Allen Ruffin.
Stephen Ricks.
I work in post-production.
Editorial.
I'm in the finance department.
Character shading.
I am a writer.
Story department.
I realized that I was black when I was probably about 4 years old.
I was with a friend at his country club. We were going swimming and everybody was white. I was the only black person there. I was worried about what they'd think or if I was allowed to even go in the pool.
When I was around 5 or 6, my family moved into a predominantly white neighborhood. My sister and I, when we walked out the front door one morning to go play outside, in chalk was written the N-word. That moment was life-changing.
I view it as an asset because with Blackness comes a rich culture, a rich history, and you get to express that, share that with other people.
I think it's an asset in that we're survivors and we're trailblazers because we can only go so far back that I think it's important that we know how to go forward.
Here's the deal, right? I love being black. Absolutely love it. Love it. Proud of it. Love black people. Everything about it. I love music, food, culture, the energy. Yeah, there's an energy to being black. I love that. But yeah, my experience in some of the spaces that I've found myself in, I don't know that I would describe being black as a detriment, but I will describe it as being a consideration.
If the world doesn't chew you up and you can navigate it, dealing with all the challenges of being black, then you're pretty much ready for anything. If this were the Serengeti, I feel like being black makes you a lion.
Could be considered a detriment in certain aspects. In school, I had teachers who instantly assumed the worst about me.
I was going over to a friend's house in high school who lived in like a gated community, and I was driving over there and then I got pulled over on the way, and he was asking like where I was going and was I gonna do drugs there, which I thought was weird. He was like, "You gonna smoke some weed, huh? Some reefer?" And I was like, "What?"
I was driving my family through the South on our way to Delaware, and I got pulled over by a cop, and this was like a year ago, and I was so scared. I had my children in the car, and I asked my wife to get all the paperwork. I didn't put my hands anywhere. She did all the handing off to the police officer. And got through it, no problems, whatever, but it was terrifying. And then I had a conversation with my son who looks white. And I said, this is something that, because of the way you look, you'll never have that feeling. It was this crazy realization that just by the shade of our skin, we're gonna have totally different experiences through our lives.
Being a mother of boys in particular, and in particular brown boys, I've had to have these talks with my kids that I never thought I was gonna have to have.
My mom used to always tell my brother and I, some can, some can't.
I have this distinct memory of my mother in a store saying, never put your hands in your pockets because someone could think you're stealing or something like that. And I actually weirdly still kind of do that today.
I am very open with my son on what he can expect and what it means to be black.
My mom calls me in tears every time she sees in the news, an unarmed black person was shot by the police. My parents did their best to prepare me for the world at large. I had the unique experience of my father was a police officer, so he taught me basically how to interact with police.
When I look at it, it just makes me sad because it's like, wow, here's my son. He's 40 years old and he's still going through the things that my generation perhaps went through and my parents' generation perhaps went through. And it's like, it's just sad because when does it end?
I just had to have the talk with them, and they're beautiful and sweet and angelic looking to me, but to the rest of the world, they're 6'2", 250-pound black men. So I had to protect them.
Blackness is not defined by the way you dress or the music you listen to, or even the way you speak English.
The talking white thing, oh my God. And I actually tried to talk more black for a while. So embarrassing.
I always say that when I write my characters, they're not meant to represent all black people. They are meant to represent a person who happens to be black.
I don't think people should be put into a box because they want to enjoy other things. They want to enjoy other cultures, eating all types of different foods. And regardless of what you enjoy, you're still black, you know, and you're not going to get away from that.
I would always like read comics as a kid, like a lot of Japanese comics, and watch cartoons. And I played paintball, which I was like the only black kid who did that. There's no real consensus of what it means.
We are who we are. I'm a person who loves classical music. I love rock music. I love soulful music. I love to travel. I don't like to camp.
There is no one definition for blackness. You know, like my way of being black is different from anybody else's.
Being black is a journey. It's still a journey for me. I'm hoping there's somebody out there who's had it nailed since birth, but I don't know. Maybe I can learn something from them while I'm listening.